Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another session by OverPower Marketing. It is I, Mustafa and Cohen, and today we are going to tell you a feature which is usually used as a lead magnet. It I well not we I personally saw it when I started using Facebook around 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, and there were a lot of these pages where they had these quizzes, how check your personality, what's your spirit animal, and things like that. All these, which Disney prince are you, which Disney princess are you, which movie is does your life represents, and things like that. And those quizzes at that time were fun to complete, but right now as a marketer we feel that these quizzes are an amazing way to gather leads. It could be anything about weight loss. It could be about their personal education, their goals and hopes and dreams. It could be about their career. It could be anything. It could be even be about who's going to win the next Super Bowl, or who's going to come out on top in the NFL or in the baseball league, and things like that. And the reason why people love these kind of quizzes is it's interactive. It gives them some sort of a pleasure in completing these quizzes and getting the results. And at the same time, you get their names, their emails, their contact information, so that you can start pitching them with your content. It could be free content, it could be paid subscriptions and things like that. But then again, you got your own tailored audience to reach out to. So based on that, we have the ability to build quizzes within the system over Power Marketing, and that is what Coven will be showing you today.
All right. So as Mustafa was saying, we are going to be going over some of the quizzes today that you can make within OPM tools. We're going to be using the example that we've made, which is the weight loss assessment quiz. But first off, let me show you a few of the templates that are available within the quizzes. So if you go to sites, then on this top row, hit quizzes, and then hit add quiz. Choose from our multiple templates. We have a wide variety. Basically, they're all formatted pretty much the exact same. It's just color scheme or just the style that you prefer, or whatever matches your business the best. But for this example, I'm going to be using the very first one. I enjoy the dark blue color, so let's go with that one. All right. Just to show you what these quizzes will look like, it'll just be a normal box asking multiple questions. For this first part, you're going to be putting in your full name, phone number, and email, and then once you fill it in, it will take you to the next question, and that's how it will look like for the majority of this quiz. So just fill in my information, hit next. Are you clear about your long-term career goals? Yes. And then right then, it just did, as soon as I clicked the button, it did the animation where it would take me from one question to the next. You also need to make sure that you add the previous button, which I will be going over within the quiz settings. So you need to make sure that you add that as well. But as we keep going, it'll just bring us to the next question, so on, so forth. Is careful with these multiple choice questions. It allows us to pick the multiple choices before we move on. Hit next. Keep on going until we finally reach the end. Do you know what skills are needed for the next step in your career? Yes. And then finally the CAPTCHA and submit. And then at the very end, it will show you the results of the quiz. You are able to manipulate the scoring of the quizzes, obviously, to make it less points per question. Say if you have way more questions, like it's a 100-question quiz, you can make every single question 1 point, and we will be going over that as well. So for your clients, this is what it's normally going to be looking like whenever you're making these quizzes and sharing it with them. Now let's go into the actual creation of these quizzes. So let me exit out this. And then let me use our weight loss assessment quiz as an example. So here we have the weight loss assessment quiz that we've made. It uses the exact same template that we have in the previous template library. It is just ready for you on the get-go. there has been nothing done to this quiz is exactly how it comes. So, very first thing are the quiz elements. This is very similar to the funnel builders, the form builders, the survey builder, all that. It's basically a simple click and drag an element from the left-hand side, drag it over here, and then the element will pop up automatically. You are able to change the verbiage of the element. Say you want to change the question name, we'll just change it to dummy, and then it will automatically propagate to the actual element. Now, from here, you can actually change the style of the questions as well. You can change it from standard, or you can change it to bubble as well, whichever you prefer, whichever style you prefer. Then there is also changing the name of the answers for each question. So option 1, we can just change it to A, it'll change it to A. Option 2, change it to B, change it to B. And we have categories. The overall only, ready for weight loss and needs more guidance. This is basically going to be how you manage your point system. You can add or remove any categories to help manage the scoring system. It will take a lot of messing around with, but overall, this is how you're going to change the scoring. Let's click on overall, and then we can change the score of this. We can change it to say 10. And then it would automatically, once this question is answered, it will give 10 points if they answer A. Then we change it to here, overall only, change this to 5. It would change the score of answering the letter B to only a score of 5. So that is how you manipulate the scoring of your quizzes. Next, I want to show you how you can change the overall style and the color of your quizzes as well. So if you go in the top right corner right here of styles and options, you'll be greeted with layout, footer, color, and background, as well as miscellaneous. Now, with footer, this is how you're going to be changing this bottom bar of each section. You can just change the color to whatever you prefer, preferably something that matches the color scheme of your business. And I know that a lot of people are going to be asking that question, so this is why we're going over the colors as well. Next, if you want to change the color of the quiz background, this area right here, you would go to the colors, and then you can change the border of the question areas, change the color of the text, of the input text, and so on, and you can just change it to whatever you need. Exit out of that, and I believe that is going over everything. Next, we would want to go over the settings as well. Now we're going to skip these first 3 sections and then go straight to the quiz settings. These are probably going to be the most important ones that you're going to be using whenever you're creating these quizzes. So let's go over each one. The back button, as I was saying before, with the previous button on each section of the quiz, you would want to add that so that your clients can go to the previous questions in case they decide to change their answer. So you'd want to click that on. You can also disable the animation, though I personally prefer keeping the animation on, but this is all obviously up to preference. Scrolling to the top, say if you have a question that is a little lengthy, it will go to the very top of the screen of the question, and then they can feel free to scroll on down. But since the majority of our questions within this quiz are very short, there's no need to turn that on. Sticky contact, if this is a person or a contact that is previously taken this quiz, it would automatically autofill all the contact's details, and so they won't have to refill in all of their information. The majority of the time you're not going to be using this. There are a few occasions. Enabling time zone, this is preferred all the time whenever you're just is preferred. So the quiz is constantly working on your business time. And use GDPR compliant font. You don't normally need to worry about this. GDPR, I believe, stands for General Data Protection Regulation. This is mainly in reference to Europe. So if your business is working with the European contacts, that is when you would need to worry about this. However, if you are already working with them, you are probably familiar with the GDPR regulations. So for now, if you're strictly within the US, you do not need to worry about this. Next, let's go back to the edit. And here on the top left corner, you can view the quiz within desktop mode or in mobile mode. This is very important if you want to make your quiz accessible to mobile users. Obviously, you would want to change some stuff around so that it's a little easier on the eyes, and so it's not such a struggle to read each question and answer them. You might have to delete some text or delete some questions or just move stuff around just to make things a lot easier for your clients. Just keep in mind, making things a lot more pleasant to look at will definitely get you more mileage out of these quizzes. And I believe those are the basics of a quiz creation.
That was an amazing showcase of what the quizzes are. And later on, you can expect us in the next quarter of 2025 that we'll be taking a deeper dive into quizzes and how we can use that within automations, how we can use that in our campaigns, and how we can use that as a proper lead magnet to not just get more cold leads, but also nurture the cold leads we already have within the system so they interact with you and become a warm lead. So when you make a call, you will have some sort of I think a ladder or a step to climb onto, like, hey, you just finished this quiz. We saw that you were in the top tier or the bottom tier, and this is how we can help you with it, and so on and so forth. But right now, I want to show you even further things that have been updated or the things that has been released by us in order to facilitate your business in multiple ways. All right, first things first, now you are able to add tasks without contacts and workflows. So what's new? You can use the add task workflow action to create contactless task. Previously, what it was is if someone wanted to give a task within their company or within their organization to someone, it could be as simple as, hey, remember to fill up the water on your way out. It had to be tied with a contact. Again, it makes no sense. So now you can give tasks to your internal team regarding anything or to management regarding the organizational skills. Maybe it's about the database management, anything at all. It could be something like, hey, please submit your EODs by the end of the day, and it does not need to be connected with the contact. So you can set task the way it was supposed to be. So that's one of the few things that has been released recently. As you can see, the date of release is September 25, 2025. So it was just recently. And why we built it? Because agencies often need internal to-dos that aren't tied to a person, like billing follow-ups, content deadlines. So this removes the must-have a contact blocker so workflows can automate those tasks as well. If we move further down, I saw another one which was very interesting to me. As you can see, there have been a lot updates recently, but there was this one that I found to be really helpful. If I can just find it once again. So stay with me. We had this bug earlier that people were unable to take notes on an active call. So that bug has been removed as well. So now you can take notes when you're on an active call on the web dialer. These notes will now be shown on your contact details. Apart from that, we'll see what has been. Now, for the new Texas SMS safeguard, because of the new recent regulation changes for Texas, you can one toggle to block SMS and MMS to or in from Texas, which helps the SB 140 compliance. This is something that came out recently, and this was very, very important. Why? Because what it does is, with one toggle, we are able to block marketing promotional SMS that are to Texas recipients or sent from Texas area code numbers across workflows, bulk send, and other automations. Where to find it? You can click on Settings, Phone Numbers, Additional Settings, SMS Compliance, and the Texas SMS Safeguard. So it will reduce the risk under Texas SB 140 for marketing messages. And what's allowed is the one-to-one SMS in conversations because the law permits contact with existing customers or established relationships, but not with the cold ones that you're reaching out for the first time or the ones that you're reaching out to multiple times when they haven't reached out back to you. So that's another thing that has been recently, and we feel that it would be of massive benefit instead of trying to find out the different Tetsis numbers within your contact list. Let's say if you have 100,000 contacts, finding all those Tetsis numbers or those Tetsis area codes could be very, very difficult. Or not difficult, it's just a tedious task. Apart from that, we have customizable message field in chat widgets. So now all chat widgets, WhatsApp, email, all in one, or voice AI, except the live chat, now include a customizable message field that ensures every conversation starts with context while keeping contacts details securely in the CRM. Why it matters is because this update ensures conversation begins with clarity and consistency. So a meaningful message is always captured. Contact details remain in the CRM, not in the chat transcript, and flexibility is maintained for different widget setups without disrupting existing workflows. Then we have been able to do more in terms of integrations. You can integrate the system with Jobber, with Slack, with Airtable natively, so that you would not have to do it through API integrations and getting into the development tools and finding out what is working and what's not working. You can add photos and estimates in terms of invoicing, which is really good as well. This also came out recently on the 22nd of September. So that is really good too. And now, when we talk about the Q4, which is one of the most important quarters of every year, the ending of the year, let me just tell you what's planned. Um, Regarding Social Planner, we are looking forward to within the next 3 months, we'll be getting an update within the system so that you'll be able to boost the social media posts that you create from within the CRM system as well. So as everyone within the media buying industry know that when you're working with ads, a good way to run ads is to boost social media posts, especially the ones which have a high engagement. So you know that what's working, you want to put more money into it, or you want to put money into it basically, so that it goes out to a much bigger reach. Then you will have the ability to add stickers to Facebook and Instagram stories. Then you will be able to integrate with Canva stock images so that you can um, have basically the content creation and the media library or the media storage connected properly. Apart from that, we will be getting the cropping tool within the media library. So when you have something within the media library and you want to crop it, you wouldn't have to download it, crop it, then re-upload it. You'll be able to do the cropping within the media library. Again, when it comes to people who don't use the media library that much, it doesn't make too much of a difference. But the ones who are into content creation, especially for social media posting, the cropping tool can be really helpful. Apart from that, you'll be able to export form submissions as a PDF. And so every form that is submitted could be saved as a PDF as well, so that you will have a more detailed and a more organized place where all your form submissions are. And now this is something that's really good. You'll be in the future, we are also going to be releasing a feature to automatically log off users after 15 minutes of inactivity within the system. Now, this could be really useful for managers who want to keep sure or make sure that the people who are using the system or are working on the system, they're actively working on the system. So if they are inactive for 15 minutes or more, they will be automatically be logged off, and they wouldn't be notified about it until they come back to the system and try to use it. So the people who want their employees or their workers work in the system to be always work in the system or be active during the work hours, they can use this to manage that as well. Apart from that, yep, these are the things that are in the progress. We'll have watermark options for the content you made through in the social media planner. Out of hundreds of what I've saw or seen, these were the ones which were worth mentioning that are applicable to the clients we have and to the other clients as well. Otherwise, all the other ones are like add in custom call status for manual actions calling. This could be good as well, but when it gets built, it would be more effective showing it while talking about it. So yeah, this has been the recent updates when it comes to the system, and the tool that Cohen just showed you around, which was the quiz. That is one thing that we feel is a great lead magnet that you can even look into to further develop your marketing channels and your marketing strategy. So yeah, and soon, not soon, but in the next week when we start the Q4's first Tuesday workshop session, we'll be sharing with you the list of all the topics we have for that quarter as well. And yeah, we look forward to providing you more informative knowledge regarding the system in the next quarter as well. Thank you so much for being here.